Matthew 26:39. Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." 2 Corinthians 5:15. And that he died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose again. In the same manner that Jesus, who experienced the same pain, the same difficulty, was tempted in at all points just as we human beings are, in the same way we follow him, we follow his example. Even though he is God, and even though he knew the end from the beginning, and he knew that he needed to go through the crucifixion, he needed to go through the betrayal, the pain, the suffering, the torture. He knew he had to for humanity, for the salvation of souls. Yet, because he was God in the flesh, he took off his glory, became man. He suffered the same as we suffered. He experienced the same temptations that we do. That is why he was asking, if it's possible, take this cup from me. But if not, let your will be done. The same way with us. We don't belong to ourselves. We don't live for ourselves. We live for him. And that means that whatever he says to us, we do it. Even if it goes against what we really want for ourselves. Jesus, at that moment, was not wanting to do it. He didn't want to go through that betrayal. He didn't want to go through that pain, that suffering, that torture. His body was rejecting it. But he knew he has to do the will of the Father. And we follow in his footsteps. We follow his example. So that if he says to you, I want you to move to this place, to a place where you never thought you would go, you have no desire of going, but that's where he wants you to go. Then, because you don't live for yourself, you live for him, you go. If he says to you, I want you to marry this person, but you had your eye on another person, you don't do your own pleasure. You don't do your own will. You do the will of the Father. You don't live for yourself. You live for him who died for you. In any area of your life, the day-to-day life, if he doesn't want us to work in a particular place, or if he doesn't want us to take a particular career, we had a desire ready for one particular thing, but he wants us to do something different, then we follow the desires that he has for us, not our own desires. Not my will, but his will. In the same manner that Jesus didn't want to drink that cup from that cup. He knew what was in it. He didn't want it. But in the end, it wasn't about him. It was about what is the Father saying to him? What does the Father want him to do? That's the example that we're to follow. Not about us, not about our will, our desires, our aspirations. It is about what does he want? We no longer live for ourselves. We live for the one who died for us and rose again.